So start by rolling out the calves. You want to aim for each muscle starting at the ankle, move all the way up to just underneath the knee. Try not to roll the back of the knee. It's just not permitted to do that. Rotating your leg left and right, make sure you're getting all the muscles of the calf. You can split, there's quite a few. Starting with the hamstring, same thing, you're rotating your leg left and right, trying to incorporate all the muscles of the hamstring, the back of the leg, all the way up to the top, just underneath your glutes. To get the inside of the leg, you can come over onto your side and just rolling out all the way up as close as you can to your groin and back down and into that just above the knee. That can be quite tender and soft in there. Just rolling that. So rolling out the front of the leg. You can start close up by the hip flexors where the quad attaches on up there. That can be quite tight. You can bend the back leg or keep it straight. Just there at the point where you kind of bend, you'll find a lot of congestion in there. You can put the foam roller onto the ground. You can tuck your hair in, okay, because it gets knotted. So for this, you want to bring it about just in between the shoulder blades, keeping your bum onto the ground throughout the whole of it. You can start by gently rolling up and down, keeping your hands down at first. The bum is on the ground. And just to stop, bring your head down. If it's too much on your neck, just support your neck. And relax, sit back in, let the shoulders drop down towards the floor. Just opening out that chest. If it's too much on the neck, just support it with your hands. And gently roll, only stopping just below the shoulder blades. You don't want to be rolling that lower back. And coming up, next we can get your tennis ball, or if you have, I actually have, it's Molly's kind of, it's a soft slitter is what it is, but it's quite soft to push, so a tennis ball, if you had one, it would be brilliant. Where you're aiming for is your QL. So if you have a feel around just at the top of the hip, you'll feel the hip bone. And just above that, your QL will be there. And it runs all the way up to just below the rib cage. So you want to stretch it out. That can get quite tight. For a lot of people, it can cause hip trouble and stuff like that. So what you want to do, you want to lay onto the ground, put your ball down, and find that area just above the hip. And lie down if you can, and just leave it sit there for a while. You want to bend the other leg. If you can, lift the knee up and down, starting with this movement. It might feel odd. Start with this movement up. Concentrate on breathing and breathing out. As you bring the leg down, you want to relax it and back up. As you do this for a while, it'll start to loosen out. The hips will click. Mine click very much. If you feel it's loosened out, you can bring the knee up and gently rotate it down towards the ground where you can, and relax it at the end. Gently rotate the knee out and relax. So if this is too much, just concentrate on bringing the knee up for now. As the weeks go by, as you do it more often, it will become looser. And what you can do, you can move the ball around up ever so slightly on the back, and try see can you do the same, bringing the knee up. And if you want, you can try straighten the knee, or straighten the leg if you can. So what you're aiming for, you're aiming to get all that length of muscle. Start just below the hip, just above the hip, and gently move it up. If you do 2 to 3 reps of each one, bringing the knee up, move the ball up slightly, do it again. So for our next movement, we can go down onto the ground. We can bring one knee out in front and the back leg is at a 90 degrees. So think 90-90. Ankle is in line with knees. From here, with your back leg, you can engage the glute. You want to bring that heel up towards the sky. And you want to gently slide the toe along the ground. And when you get to where your in range is, you want to slowly bring it back to starting position. So engage the glute, tighten up, sliding that foot along the ground, or the toe along the ground, your heel as high as possible. Go to your own end range and slowly bring it back to the starting position. Nice and slow. This is about slow, steady movements. So you want to aim for about 3 reps at the start. Slowly sliding. You want to feel that. You will feel jerking of the hip. That's what you want to look for. And you're going to go for the same on the opposite side. Starting off with about 3 reps. So take a breather. Take about a minute in between each one. Our next one, we're going to be going into straddle position. One hand is back behind your back and the opposite hand is in the middle of your legs. From here you're going to point your toe, and what you want to aim for, you want to bring that toe as close as you can down towards the floor while keeping the heel planted into the floor, and rotate up opposite side. That baby toe is going as close as you can to the floor. You should feel the movement in the actual joint of the hip. That's what you're trying to rotate. Big toe comes down as close as you can, internal rotation of the hip down towards the floor. If it's too much, you can bring the back hand back a little bit. External rotation, that baby toe is going as close as it can to the floor. And you can just do the same on the opposite leg. Go for about 6 rotations here to each side, so left and right. For our next one, you want to get something soft that you can place underneath the knee, starting that 90-90 position again. One hand, you can come down onto the elbow for this one. From here, you're bringing that front leg, the heel is reaching up towards the sky as high as you can. And from there, you want to extend the leg out nice and slow to your end range and slowly back to the start position. When you get back to the start position, you want to rest about 20 seconds and go for another rep. So these are slow, steady movements. You want to engage the glutes, you want to squeeze that front leg as tight as you can as you're moving. Nice and slow, the heel is pointing up as far as you can, up towards the roof. The toes will come close as you can to the floor. If you want, you can actually leave the toes on the floor and slide if it's too much. And the opposite side the same. Aim for 3 reps. Heel is up, glutes are engaged, and as you're bringing that front leg forward, the heel is staying as high as possible, and relax. For our last movement, you can get your foam roller or a bench or a chair. You want to put the legs up onto the chair, legs are at 90 degrees. Putting the foam roller between the knees. First movement, toes are facing up towards the sky. You're pushing that foam roller as tight as you can, squeezing, and you want to tilt your pelvis slightly, moving the bum off of the floor. And from here, you're concentrating on breathing. So big breaths in and big breath out. Concentrate on that deep breathing. Make sure that the bum is slightly off the ground throughout the whole of the movement. You should feel, you might start to shake. Make sure that you're squeezing that foam roller as tight as you can. The heels are planted into the chair. And relax back down. So you're aiming for about 30 seconds up, concentrating on breathing. I went for 5 deep breaths. You can either go for that or your 30 seconds. It's about 30. So heels are planted into the chair, squeezing the foam roller, rotating your pelvis slightly off of the floor. Concentrate on your deep breathing. Big breath in through the nose and release out through the mouth.